Welcome back, everyone, to Mystic by Colette, the channel dedicated to helping you empower yourself, rewrite your story, and claim your I am. My name is Colette Mesdag, and I am an intuitive guide and the creator of the Mystic Empowerment Card Series. The theme this week is based around the fact that this is the end of 2018, so the last week. So this is going to be the last video for this year, and it's kind of exciting for me. And therefore, I decided that the theme, again through conversations, but not anybody specific, that our theme was going to be change, endings, and rebirths, renewals, new beginnings. So let's make it endings and new beginnings. So this week we have 3 cards, once again, from each of the decks. And we're going to start there in a few minutes, and then we'll come back and talk a bit more about the card specifically and what's going on and what's happening in 2019. Okay, so we're going to begin, as we normally do, with the Mystic Bliss card for this week. And let's see what we've got. That couldn't be more perfect. I am transformation. Unfold yourself and shimmer with purity. So we're beginning this new year, this new passage, at this new time, with this ability to just stretch and unfold and reveal a larger component of who we are. So this is, I use this analogy a lot. It's the butterfly in the cocoon, or the caterpillar that thinks it's died, and it's in a cocoon in this really dark, uncomfortable, horrible place, and it's been waiting patiently, but nothing seems to be happening. It feels odd and strange and unusual, and time passes, and then all of a sudden something shifts. And that's when they realize that there is more, and there is, this is not an end, this is a new beginning. So we have to shift our perspectives at this time of year, especially that, yes, the year is ending and we may not have accomplished everything, but we may have gained some aspects of ourselves that we needed to in order to step into bigger and brighter things that are coming in 2019. The new year is representing options and opportunities. So we are going to step into it. I am transforming and shimmering with purity just means new beginnings, fresh starts. This is great. This is an opportunity for a lot of us to explore deeper. Now, I've talked to a lot of people, clients, friends, family, that are empathic or intuitive or sensitive, and psychics even, and they've come to this sort of like, I need to push beyond what I know, where I am. This seems to be a general conversation that I'm hearing all over the place, including myself. So it's like, it's that, we're feeling trapped or stuck, and like the cocoon, it's time to break out of it. And we have this opportunity as the new year begins. So this is a perfect card for this week, and I love how these things happen. Our second card is I am influential. Okay, well, let's look at influential as in the concept of everything that has come to pass in the last little while influences your now. So the people that have appeared in your life in 2018, the things that you've learned, the experiences that you've had, the pain, the loves, the joys, all of that stuff influences your now, influences your perspective, and influences your drive as you step into this new year, and even maybe some desires as to what you want to see this new year bring forward. So I am influential is actually once again, and is a perfect card for this week's reading. I want to point out the rolling landscape, which I often talk to people when they get this card about experiencing ups and downs, joys and sadnesses. It's like a landscape. It's like a vista that is rolling out before you and even behind you, and you're looking at it and going, wow, look at this wonderful, textured, varied experience that I've had. And instead of, oh, this is just flat land. Okay, so things can be calm and normal, but it may not be exciting. So look at the ups and downs as part of what gives your life texture. So we'll talk more about that maybe in a few minutes when we see some of the other cards. But there is kind of like this feeling of shifting foundations and things that are changing as well. That's the one other thing that's coming up, not from a predictive point of view, but just an understanding that if we allow ourselves to be open to change and accept that it's going to happen regardless, is you end up with this kind of like overview and say, wow, that looks really cool now that I look back into it, rather than, oh, it's horrible, 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 horrible. You're also seeing the bigger picture and the good stuff around it. It's an earth card. I don't know if anybody wants to look up number 37 for themselves, but of course that's also part of that deck is the numerology component. We don't usually do that during the readings here. Now, the mask I do want to talk about, and that's about also looking within. So I'm not going to dwell too much on that for the time being, and we'll go from there. So let's look at number 3. It's a card that's sitting in the south in the compass, so that's about fiery energy, and sometimes fiery energy can mean burning away, like the phoenix burning away what doesn't serve and rising, releasing some of that weight. And it fits with the clearing card. I am clearing is also about cutting away things that no longer serve, clearing the path for new beginnings, new opportunities, even some of your thoughts, clearing some of the thoughts that have been holding you back. It's a common thread that's going around a lot with, again, the conversations that I've had, including conversations with myself. What's holding me back? Where am I looking to go? What can I clear in order for it to be possible? And a lot of that comes back to fear of the unknown. And another one that comes up for a lot of people is a fear of rejection. So if we can release that element of fear, regardless of what the fear is of, then, we talk about fear a lot in my readings. And I think that's because it is something that is pertinent for a lot of people as they shift and grow. The action and awareness deck that this card comes from has the 11 categories, and this one is the gypsy. I like to speak about the gypsies as being, in a sense, free flowing, releasing things that other people hang on to that doesn't allow for the mind to explore and travel. The book in here speaks a little bit about the knowledge that has been gathered and shared, and you can grow from. So look at your past 12 months, this past year, and say, what did I learn? What is memorable? What is worth keeping? And then the blade is also speaking about, okay, we've got stuff that we want to keep and the stuff that's valuable, that stuff that informs, but let's release the stuff that's holding us back, that is weighing us down and making us feel I'm trying to think of the word here. Well, release, like you think of a hot air balloon is great if it's, and beautiful attached to the ground, but its real beauty comes when it's floating up in the sky. Okay, that's completely, I've never even mentioned hot air balloon around this card before, but that's just what came up. So imagine the fact that you've got all this energy pushing the balloon up, but it's being tied down by these ropes and it's not going anywhere. It still has value, still has beauty, but it's not moving, it's not going anywhere. So let's look at cutting away those things that are holding you down and step into a larger picture for 2019. Okay, I think I've talked enough about this reading, except for the fact that I want to tie up here. So in transforming yourself, you're influencing your now. And to influence your now also speaks about releasing and clearing the things that do not serve you and focusing on the things that influence you in a more positive way. That's where the transformation, that's where real change happens. Okay, so let's go back to the other camera, talk a little bit about what's coming up. I'm wishing you a happy new year if I forget to do that in my closing statements. And let's look at 2019 with excitement and joy and wonder. Thanks. Well, I'm excited for 2019, and I'm pleased to see all of the things that are happening for my clients and friends and family, over the past year, and how they've grown and expanded from that. So it's no surprise that the cards that you just saw reflected a lot of that. Of course, the first card being I Am Transformation, based on, I'm going to keep moving it here. I've got the phone slightly different this time, so I'm recording upside down, so it feels kind of weird. But I Am Transforming is perfect for this time of year. And I'm really, again, wanting to reflect the fact that as we are shifting and growing, there's sometimes pain. And I've mentioned in the reading that this is very similar and symbolic of what the caterpillar goes through. And of course, the caterpillar is feeling trapped and uncomfortable and closed, and then all of a sudden something shifts. There's a crack in that layer or barrier that they were experiencing, and which they thought was not something they could actually surmount. So the butterfly pushes out, and that's what we're wanting to do at this time of year. We want to push out of our comfort zones or even our discomfort zones and expand. So the first card being from the Change and Transformation deck, of course, was the final card that I photographed for the series, and the final card that I wrote for this deck, which was Transformation, meaning that it is time to complete projects and step into new opportunities. I am transforming. Our second card was I Am Influential, this card being from the deck for Healing and Nurturing. And we have here a card that is an earth card, but also represents the crone. And with the crone, we are speaking about the elements of wisdom, gathered knowledge, gathered information, and that's also part of what we are experiencing at this time of year. We're reviewing what we've learned, what we've experienced, what we've had at our disposal, and we're assimilating it, and we are adding it to our information that is helping us day after day. So I am influential. So the things that are influencing your life, but also how you're influencing other people through your actions and thoughts and activities. And so there's been a period for me where I've been feeling really, really stuck, and I know a lot of people who are intuitive and sensitive were having a lot of trouble pushing out of their comfort zones, not feeling that they were making much of a difference. And so let's remember that we are influencing, even in small ways, and what we don't feel may be big enough to make a difference, but it does make a difference. Please remember that. This card keeps coming up this last little while. I am clearing. And the Men of Magic deck, or the Magic deck, has the 11 categories, if you're familiar with my cards. And this third deck, I use the archetypes of several different main ones that I am drawn to. And this one here is the Gypsy. And there was 4 gypsies in the deck, but I Am Clearing is talking about, again, if you look at the book, it's symbolic of wisdom, gathered knowledge, shared knowledge, of course. And also, I think the other element that I spoke about in the reading is the blade, cutting away things that no longer serve. So it's a perfect time to do that. So this gypsy is sitting in the south, which is about really heat and passion and excitement and activity and action. So let's look at this action and awareness card and focus on the fact that we are looking at being aware of the knowledge that we have gathered this past year and how it's going to serve us, bringing it into the next year. And of course, the blade, cut away what doesn't serve you. You've tried things that may not have worked. Let go and step forward. Clear. Make it a really positive 2018. Oh, sorry, 2019. But of course, positive 2018 as we close that off and step into the new year. So I'm excited to announce that we have a few activities happening in January. I am speaking at a Reiki group in Barrie, and that's really going to be a lot of fun, speaking about the Mystic Project and how it's helped me do my work and step out of my comfort zones, of course, and grow. The second item, of course, is a couple of shows that I'm going to be doing late January, early February. So if you're in the Barrie area and or surrounding area and you'd like to know more about those shows or book a reading, you're certainly more than welcome to do that. I am working on my 4th deck and going to print with the first 3. So that's also going to be really exciting for me in the 2019 year. And different workshops and seminars, visit the website, check it out, subscribe, and find out a little bit more about what's going on for Mystic and Colette, myself. Okay, we're going to have some fun. I'm excited about 2019. It feels like it's going to be tremendous for a lot of people. We're stepping into a new beginning. Enjoy. See you next week. Thanks for joining me.